Dude, speaking of Under Oath, what was you just posted on the Saints Can Lie servers? Under Oath, Periphery, and who else? Loathe. That tour is coming up. Under Oath,
Oh,
Periphery, and Loathe.
dude, I might drive to Oklahoma City to try and shoot that show. I got to shoot Under Oath at So What this year, and I got my favorite photo I've ever taken from it.
That's
And
so
Spencer
sick.
commented on that post, and I was riding that. I'm
From
still
Periphery?
riding that high. No, Spencer from Under Oath.
Okay,
He
okay.
commented on a photo I posted,
Okay,
and I
I thought
was
you were, I
like,
thought you were talking about
"This is
Sotelo.
cool."
I'm like, holy
No,
cow.
I like Periphery. Like, I definitely listened to them back around Scarlet and
Scarlet's sick.
what was that other one? The one where they're
Very.
having the ketchup mustard fight in space in the music video.
I don't watch a lot of their music videos. I know they do
Oh
weird
wait, that
ones
is
though.
Scarlet actually. That one is Scarlet. Make
Right?
Total Destroy is the other one that I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Again,
you, yeah,
I'm not super into prog, so like I'll listen to their albums whenever it comes out, but it's just I don't know. It just doesn't scratch the itch for me.
yeah. I have a song for you that might by Periphery. It's just an instrumental. It is an 8-string instrumental where Misha just kind of goes. It's either Misha or God, is it Mark Holcomb, the other vocalist?
The other
Or no,
guitarist?
my bad,
Yeah.
guitarist. Sorry, yeah. It's either
What's the
Mark or
name of it?
Misha. Four Lights. I think it's just in standard 8-string tuning, but it's like the breakdown is just binary. It's so sick. Like I don't know if you like super intricate gent type breakdowns.
I can get down with some gent breakdowns.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like keeping it classic sometimes. You know, your ones and zeros, but it has to have a good rhythm to it. It
Yeah.
has to just be how did you even make something so simple, so like just punchy.
So intricate.
Yeah. That's okay, so this is one of my favorite bands of all time, Beartooth. Because of the
Oh,
fact
dude,
yeah,
favorite
because
band.
yeah, because I actually got to see them this year live too. That was so sick.
I
It
haven't
was
seen
them,
in years.
Silverstein, and Era. That was a sick lineup.
Oh man, you got yeah. Oh, actually, I saw them last year because that was their Below tour. That was their
Yeah,
part two. I went to part one of that tour, and
that's sick.
that was right before I was really blowing up photography wise. But dude, I went to that show and Mosh to Wage War and stuff. Dude,
Nice,
I love
dude.
Beartooth.
When they played the last riff, their encore song where it's just instrumental, and Caleb's up there just playing in
Dude,
drop
I was
G, drop
wondering.
F.
Yeah, I was wondering what they were gonna do because, like, so funny you mentioned Beartooth. Number 5 on my top albums is Sick and Disgusting, their debut album,
Yes, dude. Well, yeah,
and
that was all made by Caleb.
it all is. He writes and records every Beartooth record.
Even
So
the newest one?
yeah, that's all him.
Really?
Yeah,
So does
they'll
he
get like
write and
input.
record it?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
he's a
crazy.
one. The people that play live are just they're members of Beartooth, but they're essentially just like live performers.
Yeah.
That's
So
Caleb's big thing
yeah.
is he wants people to experience the live show different than on the recording.
Yeah. So what I thought, well, I thought for the longest time what you said was true, and then I thought that it was just a disgusting album that he did everything on, and
Oh, it's
then
every album.
really,
That's all him, which is so. I mean, the Plot and You does it too. I think. I think Landon writes and records all their stuff.
that's sick. That's actually really sick because this I know he made Disgusting and the EP before Disgusting. I can't remember what it's called, but there's
I think it was just sick.
yeah, yep. I think it was too. But I really like how raw, sick, and then disgusting was.
Dude, my first okay, so like I said, I grew up pretty poor. Like we would
Yeah,
eat our cereal out of like metal mixer bowls because we didn't have regular bowls. Like we
yeah.
never had things. So whenever I started working, one of the first things I did was I bought myself a concert ticket. And I went and saw in 2013 my first concert was August Burns Red, Bless the Fall, Defeater, and Beartooth.
That is sick,
And
dude.
I went mainly just for Bless the Fall because I like August Burns Red, but again they're kind of like that Periphery style. Like I
Yeah,
like it, but it's not entirely my thing. But my first memory is walking in the House of Blues Dallas, and Caleb Shomo is stage diving because I got there late. I got there at the end of Beartooth set. Caleb Shomo just launches himself into the crowd at House of Blues, and I was like, "Oh, this is what I've been missing." So immediately after their set, I went and bought the last EP they had, and this guy
Oh,
was behind
sick.
me. The last one that they had like at that show.
Was it of
Yeah,
sick?
but yeah. And
That's
so
awesome, dude.
I bought the physical copy of the CD, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And the guy behind me was like, "Yeah, I want to get the EP." And the merch guy was like, "Sorry, dude, that guy bought the last one." And then just
Man,
after that, like Defeater got into them, which they were my introduction to hardcore. Bless the Fall, just love Bless the Fall. But yeah, Beartooth. I have all of their albums on vinyl, so
really?
little bit of a vinyl nerd when it comes to the scenes music.
Yeah. No, I see. I would buy vinyl, but I'm still in college, so I don't have real job money yet. But after I do, I'm getting into cybersecurity, so I'm hoping I'll have enough money to start buying into vinyl and stuff like that. Because it's like seeing Monuments Alive and Sammy Bowler and all these people. It's just like I would love to support them and buy vinyl. It's just kind of like
Yeah,
a thank you for coming through, and that's kind of what I did with the home team. Like I got this hat, got them to sign it, and everything. It's kind of fading off.
I was wondering where that beanie came from because
That's
that's
the
a
home
sick
team.
beanie.
Yeah, the Sharpie's fading, but I had them sign it all and everything. But yeah, dude, the home team. I'll send you some, or yeah, I'll link you like an album after this. It's such an awesome album. Like, but the best part about the home team is they all have metalcore backgrounds, and their guitarist. This is the funniest thing, dude. It's pop punk, except their guitarist is playing with an 8 string.
Oh, dude, that makes me think of Belmont.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly like that. So I didn't understand that John, their guitarist, did this until I saw it live. So I was just like kind of like chuckling to myself the whole concert. Like I can't believe he's playing pop punk on an 8 string. Like
On
that's
a
just
fucking
over.
eight
It's like
string.
imagine showing up to a blues concert with an 8 string. It's like you don't expect it, but it's possible, right? Like it's very abstract. But he is actually an Aristides artist, and I think that's crazy
Oh,
because Aristides, I only know one other person, and that's Gabe Manifold from Enterprise Earth. That is an Aristides guitarist and two way different bands, way different.
very different bands. Very
Yeah,
different.
they opened up for Fit on their last or second to last tour, and then Enterprise Earth had their own headlining tour. That was with Within Destruction, Sentinels, and Great American Ghost.
Yeah,
That was
I
a
remember hearing about that
badass
tour.
lineup.
There was a lot of tours this year that I just completely forgot were coming through, and so I was like, ah, crap, I missed my chance. I got to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't complain about the amount of bands and tours I shot this year, though.
Well, even getting to go them, like even if you're like, well, do you only go to shows now with your camera, or do you just go and have some like me time or
Um,
whatever?
I I mean, with the position I'm in now, like it goes back to networking.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm friends with a lot of like touring photographers, and so once you're kind of in the publication style game, so like I formed my own publication with my friend Alexis called Spitjam Collection. Once you kind of know how to reach out to artists, it's pretty easy to get on shows. Like the Bring Me the Horizon show, I didn't get on, but they were letting anybody have photo passes to those shows. But just to answer the question, like 9 times out of 10 now, if I'm going to a show, it's because I'm shooting it. But if I go with somebody, there's a 100% chance that if it's a heavy band, I will have them hold my stuff so I can like mosh, crowd surf,
yeah,
do whatever. Like I love doing both because I've found like just going to shows to enjoy them is a lot of fun, but I remember them more if I'm doing photos.
really.
Yeah, so like the
That's
Devil Wears
really interesting.
Prada. Yeah, so like I shot the Zombie 2 show whenever they toured Zombie, both the Zombie
Yeah.
EPs.
Yep.
I shot that show earlier this year, and that sticks out to me
Really.
because I was in the photo pit and I was like, "Damn, this is the band that started everything emo about me." Like,
Yeah.
"Hey John, what's your name again?" is the song that kicked off my emo life, and now I'm here. And so it was like it was kind of a full circle thing, and that's with any show that I shoot now. Is like, oh god, like I'm shooting counterparts. Like
Yeah.
3 years ago, I was sitting in my car crying to and the Ocean of Another off their Nothing Left to Love album. Like I was sitting in
Yeah.
my car crying over that song, and then now I'm shooting them. So
Isn't it crazy how life works like that? It's just like it's so like if you go back in life and oh, let's just say you're starting high school, you're like, hey Michael, when you're older, you're gonna be shooting for all these bands and stuff. Would you
I
believe it? Like,
think I think about that all the time. All the time. Anytime I'm going to a show, I'm like, damn, 14-year-old me would see where 26-year-old me is now and freak out.
yeah. Would you want it any other way, or do you like where you're at?
I no, I wouldn't change a thing about my life. So the
That's
thing is
awesome.
like I have a lot of regrets in life. I've done a lot of things that I shouldn't have and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's just part of
But at the
living,
end
man.
of yeah, at the end of the day, like I'm here, I'm alive, I'm doing concert photography. I have an amazing supportive girlfriend that has no problem me going to shows. She goes to shows with me when we can, like if we have a babysitter for the kids. Like life's good.
Yeah, you gotta do what you can to make it work, man. And I'm happy that you're able to do that because I know when you first or when I reached out to you, or we had a plan, and it's like, oh, stuff came up, which was totally fine. Like I totally get that, dude. Because I was going to like, college and stuff too, and hey, maybe it was better. I had the extra 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever of
Yeah,
studying. I don't know, but we're here now, and that's all that matters, really. Just keep
exactly.
moving forward, and that's like it's crazy to think that some people well it's easy to let one road bump kind of offset a couple things, but it's like it's just another thing that happens. Like you're not steering off the road because of one tiny thing. It's like don't lose picture
Yeah, I
of
think
the big thing.
that's a lot of people miss the big picture when they get into the nitty-gritty. Like I know some people that are getting into photography or getting into something and they immediately start comparing themselves to other people and it's like you're missing the point. Like you have to go out and you have to do the thing that you want to do. You have to suck at it. Like you don't
Right.
nobody gets to skip anything. Even the bands that people are like, "Oh, this band's only big because they had like $10,000 to market their stuff." Like, no, they still have to suck. Everybody sucks at what they're doing at the beginning.
Yeah, and
And then
what's
you
a great
get through it.
example for that? Sorry to cut you off, but $10,000. Like Billie Eilish won Grammys with her and her brother in her bedroom. Like, where's the marketing in that?
Who was Billie
It's
Eilish 10 years ago?
yeah, like nobody knows Billie Eilish 10 years ago, but her and her brother were just messing around in one of their bedrooms, and boom, Grammy, crazy.
Exactly. It's like everybody and anybody can do it nowadays.
Yeah,
YouTube University is like a real thing.
yeah, and it's
I learned
yeah,
how to take my photos through YouTube. Anytime I get a camera, like right now I'm rocking my A7 III. First thing I do is look up A7 III setup. Go to YouTube,
that's
figure out
sick.
what other
Yeah,
people are doing, figure out how to use settings. I was I was shooting something for a band that we've talked about a couple times now, and in the middle of the video shoot, I was like, huh, I wonder if I can do this with my camera. So I was like, hey guys, let's take five. And then in 5 minutes, I figured out something completely different. Like
that's sick. So do you
every,
do only photo shoots, or do you do like cinematography as well?
so I used to do music videos. I mean, I have one music video that I'm working on right now. Um, it's just video work is so hard, but it goes back to
Yeah,
that, like adapt, overcome thing.
yeah,
Right now the market's being dominated by videos and a lot of people that are strictly photo don't want to do it. And so that's where I'm kind of like, well, I know how to do video work too, so I'm just going to start doing more video stuff because at the end of the day, like we can talk crap about how stupid the algorithm is and how TikTok's evil. I love TikTok. Like it's
oh
an
yeah.
amazing
I
platform.
it's a love hate relationship. Like I spend too much
Yeah.
time on there.
Dude, the algorithm, tell me it's not a perfect algorithm.
It's the perfect algorithm. And what's crazy is, so me and my I'm in well, it's called cybersecurity engineering exactly. So I'm getting classes with like software engineers, computer engineers, stuff like that. And
I
we
I have a
take a
degree in UX design, so I'm familiar
really
with. the technical stuff.
Nice. So we had to take this class called algorithm analysis, and I don't know if you know what big O notation is.
I've heard of it.
So it's like you have an algorithm. What is the time of O that can run in? So it's like your for loops and stuff all impact
Mm.
your stuff. And the perfect O of n time, or well, big O time is one. You know, one operation done. And we're saying like it's like -1 for the TikTok algorithm because it's so perfect that it learns everyone to the specific degree that people are. TikTok
Dude,
almost knows more about you
yes.
than yourself. It's insane. I
Dude,
don't get it.
I remember specifically my mom sent me a TikTok and she was like, "Hey, this showed up on it was a goth TikTok. It was like a metal goth thing."
Yeah.
And it was because I was using my mom's phone one day and I was on her TikTok and then suddenly that popped up and I was like, "Your TikTok's
Yeah.
learning me now."
Yeah.
Dude, but yeah, going back, like, I posted a TikTok of just some photos I took earlier this year, and it got like 800 views in 24 hours.
Yeah. It's
And
crazy. Like TikTok will like on YouTube I'll get maybe like, low end 20 views per podcast, high end 50, 60, 70. I think well, YouTube
over
is generous
200
with
for the
like
Saints one I saw.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I heard YouTube is very generous with like the first episode of a YouTube channel with the algorithm, so they'll like push it out more, but then they just kind of like kick you down the dirt after like it's like it's like you're not a content creator. I'm still going though, but TikTok 200 minimum on any video you make. It's like I think on another account back when I was like posting little guitar snippets, I got like I don't know 2,000 for like the Hotel California solo,
Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like it was so shittily recorded. It was just phone audio. Like there was no microphone like this or like what you got. It was literally my phone propped up on my amp facing me, playing through a crappy $400 combo amp. Like
and all it takes, dude, there was a video of a mom dancing to Wage War that I saw earlier today. It had 300,000 likes, 800,000 views. Wage War commented on
I
it.
think I
Like,
know what you're talking. Yeah, this is in the
yeah,
kitchen. Yeah,
yeah, and it's
yeah,
like it's so TikTok is really the place for consistency, but at the same time, like as someone who does mainly photos now, it's hard to adapt to that platform. And Instagram's going the
yeah.
same way with their reels. That's why my last couple posts have been reels. Like the one that I just posted of my friends in City of Auburn, it was a live recap. And that's sitting at 1,000 views right. I think it's 1,000 views right now. It's sitting at 929 views.
Nice.
That's the most engagement I've ever got
Yeah,
on any. It's only at like 30 likes or something, but almost 1,000 people have seen it just because it's a reel, and Instagram pushes that.
yeah,
And TikTok with the TikTok hashtags, those actually work now, unlike the Instagram hashtags that don't really do anything anymore.
yeah. So like my thing is in this is all hypothetical speculation. I'm not saying you have to do one thing or another, but it's like this is what I think about. I feel like I have a very creative mindset in terms of like back when I was 18, I'm like, oh, I think it'd be really cool to start up a smart home company that's focused on protecting user privacy. That's kind of the whole thing that got me into cybersecurity back in 2018. Facebook and Cambridge Analytica had this huge fallout, like, oh well, 50 million users' data got leaked, including phone
Yeah,
numbers, SMS, text, all this stuff. If you had your phone number linked to Facebook, then they get to see who you're texting, what times you're texting them from where to where. It's so intrusive. It's like to me it's intrusive. Not that I have to hide anything, but it's like why
it's
not?
just the principle of not have it's the Big Brother thing.
Yeah, it's the Big Brother thing. And fun fact, this actually stemmed from 9/11. So, and I understand that 9/11 was very scary for a lot of people worldwide. Totally understand that. But when you come to terms with everybody and anybody needs to be watched at all times, I don't think that's the case. I think that's to me that's accusing everyone of being evil to some degree when I don't think that's the case. I feel the human mind is greater at analyzing people and saying, okay, this person means good or means well, or this person, they're kind of a piece of shit. Maybe we need to watch them more. I don't know. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I just
Well,
know
we
that.
we learned about that in design too. So like if you go to a hotel and you notice that the hotel has very tiny soap bars or very small hangers, and it's like, what the heck? Why? This isn't practical. It's because the hotel expects their guests to steal from them. So they
That's
purposely
great. Yeah.
design their hotels to be like, okay, you're going to steal from us. We're going to make our products shit. And it's like, you're already accusing your user of something. That's a big
Yeah.
thing, is like ethics in design.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you can assume that, but you can also assume the fact that instead of cleaning the, because like if I use a bar of soap and I'm like, hey Michael, use this bar of soap, you're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to,
Absolutely not.
it's like that's kind of gross. So it's like on
Yeah.
that point, it's like, it could be a sanitary, or it could be what you said, it could be just distrusting the user. There's two different cases there.
Yeah.
But referring back to before I got sidetracked in cybersecurity and everything, what I think about like like the smart home thing, or another idea I had is like, well, what if I just put down $1 million on land and just built solar panels and just had a huge solar farm and offered another means of electricity to provide to people, or I'm just selling it back to the city. I'm supplying the power grid with my own electricity and getting paid for that. But obviously, something has to be maintained. So I would want to pay someone to obviously maintain some things or something that I cannot do. So like while I'm in college with this podcast, I'm like, dude, advertising this stuff and video editing, it gets to be a handful. So it's like with your photography stuff, it's like maybe to help you integrate into the video community. Maybe you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start trying to vlog, like be like, oh, it's concert day. I'm going to, once I'm driving there, I'm recording.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've tried to get into like the, hey TikTok, I'm a photographer. Come shoot counterparts with me. I filmed a thing, but it just like I didn't want to force it too hard, and so I never put it out. But instead, what I did was I was like, okay, let me just shoot counterparts. Let me just shoot them. Let me do a little live video of them. Let me just post that, and that got a lot of good attention. And so I think I'm just, and another thing is like captions, how you portray yourself. Like with videos, with photos, like your photos tell a story, so do your videos.
Yeah.
But like you really have to set a style. You need consistency.
Yeah.
And so that's why with all of my photography posts or my video posts, like I put a song lyric from the band, or I just put, like on TikTok, I think I just put Counterparts Dallas. It's all about like, I don't know, I overthink everything, which is why I suck.
No, I think that no, I think that's good. I think that's great. I think when you overthink something, as long as it's so. This is actually what I talked about with Isaac Stolzerberry of Gary, my bad, of The World Is Quiet here. He's a guitarist for them, and as an artist, as a creator, as a media creator, anything, like photography, music, podcast, whatever. It's so easy to critique yourself when you're editing or taking or shooting. That you can always be working on something, or you can allot yourself. You're like, I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to decide on how I want to finalize this, and then it's done. So
dude, that's another thing. Whenever I'm in the editing, like whenever I'm at my computer and I'm editing my stuff, I'll nitpick, and then I'm just like, no, this is it. This is done.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the only reason I found it for myself, like I do a lot of like personal reflections. I find that for myself, the only reason I'm nitpicking is because I want my photographer friends to like what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do it for the validation.
Like, exactly. And it's like, my photographer friends are my friends for a reason. Like, we all hype each other up. That's already there. I don't have to prove. I don't know. I'm to the point now where I don't have to prove my skills to anybody. Like a year and a half ago, definitely whenever it's early on, you have to make sure you're not being an asshole to people.
Right.
You have to make sure you're not completely ripping off somebody's style. Like you have to do a lot of groundwork. But then if you do that groundwork early on, your work speaks for itself. And that's what I found with some like newer photographers in in the scene or just nationally, they're trying to skip steps.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you have to like you can't just shoot all these big bands. Like it was a conversation I had with a buddy of mine earlier this year. They told me they sent me their portfolio and they're like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I gave them honest feedback and critiques. I was like, "Hey, I think you need to work on like this. This is really cool. You have the right vibe going here, but just work on these things." And then I remember they told me, "Well, I just need to shoot bigger bands. I need to shoot bigger bands with better lighting and better that and this and that." And I was like, "You're right. Like, if you're shooting a local band at a local venue that doesn't have a light guy and all that stuff, it's harder, obviously. That's why bands have this like multi-thousand-dollar production. But if your fundamentals aren't there, it doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
would you rather I'll put an example for like myself. Would I rather shoot Fit for a King and get horrible photos of them and then post those for the world to see and be like, ugh, yeah, I don't know, buddy. Or do I want to get really good at taking photos of local bands with shitty lighting, figure out how to photograph them, and then take that to bigger shows where your photos will turn out even better?
Yeah. I think right there, exactly how you said it, is the way to do like a lot of content creation. So once you kind of get your flow, your rhythm, your style down, I think that can take you further than, being like, hey, Ryan Kirby, can I shoot for Fit for a King? Or be like, hey, Ryan, I shoot, photography for bands that come through. Here's a little bit of my portfolio. And, they are, they're not well known bands, but, I'd like to say I'm very proud of my work, how far I've come with it. What do you think? And, you have your work to show for it. Like, you could show
Dude,
them something great that,
yeah.
just came from a can of shit. It's like,
Yeah, at the
I,
end of the day, people and the thing is like I go through like touring photographers, like that's how I got the Fit show is I became friends with their touring photographer. That's how I've gotten a few of the shows over the last couple of years. But like the biggest thing is like nobody cares if you're taking photos of like small local bands. Like that's not the point is are you taking good photos?
yeah, that's the entire
Like
point.
yeah. So like you could take photos of a band. I mean, with local shows, unfortunately, not a lot of people go to them nowadays. Ever since COVID, people have just kind of stopped going to local shows.
Yeah,
And
which is
so
really sad, man. Because
I
like,
hate it. There's so much good talent.
yeah, like I have a couple buddies in my hometown that they really want to get out there and have fun and stuff. Like they just do free shows. They're like, we just need people to come out. Like we're
Yeah,
paying to do these shows. Like it's so
just
backwards to
vibe.
me that it's like they're a good band and everything. The thing for me is like they were in like a hard rock band before, but their vocalist got together with like some DJs and stuff. Like he has a killer voice. I will give him that. He has a phenomenal voice. And then some EDM DJ was like, "Hey, you want to do a song with me?" And that song got on Rocket League soundtrack, which is
Oh man,
wild. I don't know if you know the name Micah Martin, but he
can't
has
say I
this.
know the name,
Yeah.
but
So
just to get
from
on
yeah,
that,
yeah,
huge.
yeah. So then other DJs were like, "Hey, this guy's actually he has a really good voice." So he's getting with all these kind of like very kind of heavy dubstepy, EDM artists and stuff. And Micah Martin, I am like I don't even know if he knows my name, but I have a picture with him from like 2018 back with his old hard rock band. I had them all sign my Fender Stratocaster back then. But he this year hit like over 700,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and we're like from the same hometown, just small town Iowa, dude. It's crazy.
Wild, dude. Do
Yeah.
you know Unity? Unity, Texas, the band.
No,
They
I
were
do
just on
not.
tour with they were on the Amity Affliction, Silverstein, Holy Absence tour.
Were they an opener or just a local opener?
They were an opener. They were the opening for the tour.
Really?
They're from Dallas, and like I grew up. I mean, not really grew up because I didn't start going to shows until I was 18. But dude, I remember watching like a lot of them back in the day, back before they really blew up, and now they're just opening tours left and right, and it's just so nice
Yeah.
seeing bands from the scene from whenever I was a part of the scene
Yeah.
really getting out there.
No, yeah, absolutely. So it's like seeing Mikey go that far. I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever go to an EDM show. I'd like to. I just don't know if, like, I've seen the Chainsmokers live at Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I like the festivals and stuff. I love them because
I
at
feel like
least
I would
with
have a
how,
panic attack.
yeah, with how this festival, the Summerfest, they have like 12 or 13 different stages, and it's just kind of like a row. It's like you're walking along like a strip mall or something. It's like obviously they have the sound barriers and everything, so one band doesn't collide with the other while they're both playing at the same time. Like, oh, well, this is like a blues guy. I want to go find some more metal, or oh, I like this blues guy, or like a rapper could come up and be like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to whoever else now. So it's cool that you have like 13 different bands going on at the same time, but it sucks because like they had August Burns Red come through one time, but I got sucked into this other band, so I totally missed their set. I'm like, oh my
Dude,
god.
Warped Tour, man. Stories of Warped Tour.
I know. I know. I
Same
that's
thing.
that's is Warp Tour still going?
No, Warped Tour ended back in 2019, 2018 or
Yeah.
19, I think was their final
Yeah.
full length fest, which I don't a lot of people say like they want Warped Tour to come back. I I don't think it would be successful if it came back because here's a hot take. I think people are
Hot
getting really
take.
soft with shows.
In what regards?
So like so the Astro World thing was horrible.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened there? Freaking horrible. That was a
Yeah.
failure on every level.
Yeah.
But that happened, and now people are like, "Oh, this person is shoulder to shoulder with me at a metal show, or at like a punk show, pop punk, whatever." They're like, "You need to move. I need my space." And then like I've seen it happen at like shows, like pits open up, people start crowd surfing, and people get pissed nowadays. And it's like that wasn't there 10 years ago. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, with When We Were Young Fest, I had tickets to go to that, and I had to sell them because I couldn't afford the travel.
Oh, that sucks.
But so many people were like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like, do you see how these stages are set up? How are we gonna see the bands that we want to see? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that?" And it's like, do you guys not remember Warped Tour? Like half of you guys went to Warped Tour growing up.
Yeah.
You have to make that sacrifice. You're not gonna see every band that you want to see in a day. Like that's
Yeah.
just not possible. That was the thing with Warped Tour is like, okay, do I want to watch Riff Raff or do I want to go see Attila and Asking Alexandria? Like you
Yeah.
have to make that. And so I think especially with how hot it is, like I think let me rephrase. I don't think the world has got a lot softer. I think they've got a lot safer.
Probably. I would say that's a better term for it. And so I'm not to paint myself with a bad mark, but I'm kind of that person. However, I leave the front of the show for the people that don't care. I'm not going to be at the front of the show being an asshole, being like, oh, don't touch me or whatever. It's like I'll just be off to the side or off in the back, just, being in my space. I'll find a space and I'll be like, okay, cool. There's not a lot of people here. I'm going to enjoy the concert from here. And that's fine with me. It's like I'm enjoying the concert with how I spent my money. It's like I'm going to let the people who want to be in the front. Like I'm not going to take a spot in the front row just to be an asshole. It's like I think that's stupid. But however, I have seen this drunk guy get kicked out of a bar this year from Monuments because he broke some guy's glasses because he was just way too drunk and moshing way too hard.
That stuff is definitely like there's a limit to everything.
Yeah.
But there are some people that just I don't know. I don't know what it is. But at the same time, I also share the sentiment of like you paid to be here, you should be able to enjoy the show how you want. But just know that if you go to the front of like what's an example? Beartooth.
Yeah, oh, dude, a Beartooth. Yeah.
Or a Crown the Empire hometown show. Like if you're at the front for that kind of show, you're gonna get shoved around. You're gonna like all of this stuff is going to happen. If you don't like that, sorry, but like 90% of the people here are here to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's another reason why I just go to these kinds of shows. I don't really go see other genres of music because I don't know, I love the intensity.